We present What Ho, Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. Starring Michael Hordern as Jeeves, Richard Briers as Bertie Wooster, and Clive Francis as Lord Chuffnell. From the book, Thank You, Jeeves, Episode 4, Jeeves Finds the Way.
When J. Washburn Stoker inherited approximately $50 million in the will of his potty second cousin George, one of his first acts had been to promise to buy Chuffnell Hall, Somerset, for his old crony Sir Roderick Glossop. The idea being that the eminent loony doctor would then convert it into a country club for his nerve patients. A subsequent quarrel between the two blighters, however, had led to old Stoker welshing on the deal and stumping peevishly back to his yacht, much to the disgruntlement of the owner of the hall, Marmaduke, 5th Baron Chuffnell. This Chuffnell was, in addition, undergoing a goodish amount of mental anguish on account of his love for Pauline Stoker, daughter of J. Washburn. Finding her late one night roosting in my cottage and fat-headedly misinterpreting her motives, he had exploded like a paper bag. And she, understandably as sore as a gunboy at his lack of faith in her, had immediately handed him his hat. Old Pop Stoker, meanwhile, also hearing of Pauline's visit to the Wooster home, had invited me to his yacht, and there clapped me in irons to await a fate worse than death, viz., marriage. Thanks to Jeeves, however, I had escaped from that floating dungeon by disguising myself as a nigger minstrel, only to find, on returning to my cottage, that my new valet, Brinkley, was in the act of burning it to the ground. I had thus, on account of my boot-polish face and a shortage of butter to cleanse same, been forced to seek sanctuary for the night in the summer house on the main lawn of Chuffnell Hall. All pretty clear so far, what? Fine. I awoke the next morning to the sound of somebody coughing softly at my side, like a respectful sheep trying to attract the attention of its shepherd.
Oh, Jeeves. Good morning, sir. I was not expecting to see you here. I had supposed that the arrangement was that we should meet across the park at the Dower House.
Jeeves, one brief word about the Dower House, and then I should like the subject shelved indefinitely. I know that when you suggested I spent the night there, your motives were pure to the last drop, but the fact remains that you were dispatching me to a nasty salient. Do you know who was lurking in that house of fear? Brinkley, still as tight as an owl, and this time wielding a chopper.
I'm very sorry to hear that, sir.
But that's not all, Jeeves. Do you know who else was there? Sir Roderick Glossop.
Indeed, sir?
Yes. You remember we were wondering last night where he would find refuge after his row with the Dowager Lady Chuffnell?
Yes, sir. Certainly Sir Roderick's kindly gesture in blackening his face in order to entertain Master Seabury had placed the gentleman in an embarrassing position. His negroid appearance undoubtedly militated against his returning to his hotel.
Quite. Well, he decided to try the Dower House, too. I met him shooting out of the back door like a rat out of a trap, with Brinkley in hot pursuit.
Most unfortunate, sir.
Yes, but at least he's probably now safe and pink-faced. He went to my garage shortly afterwards to get petrol. Was he correct in supposing that would clean him as well as butter?
Yes, sir.
Then I should think he's on his way to London by now, if not actually in the metropolis.
Her ladyship will, I am sure, be much relieved, sir. She was inquiring about Sir Roderick's whereabouts this morning, and I definitely received the impression that she regretted last night's falling out.
You mean she loves him still and wishes to extend the amende honorable?
Or olive branch? Yes, sir. So at least I divined from her demeanor. I was left with the impression that all the old love and esteem were in operation once more.
I'm very glad to hear it, for I must tell you, Jeeves, that since we last got together, I've completely changed my mind about the above Glossop. I see now that there is much good in him. In the silent watches of the night, we formed, what you wouldn't be far out in describing, as a beautiful friendship. We discovered each other's hidden merits, and he left showering invitations to lunch.
Indeed, sir.
Absolutely. From now on, there will always be a knife and fork for Bertram at the Glossop lair, and the same for Roddy, Shea Bertram.
Very gratifying, sir.
Most. So if you're chatting with Lady Chuffnell in the near future, you can tell her that the match has my full approval and sanction.
I'm very pleased to hear it, sir.
But all this, Jeeves, if I may strike the practical note, is beside the point. The main issue is that I'm still as black as the ace of spades and sorely require butter. Can you procure some for me eftsoons or right speedily?
Certainly, sir. But may I ask, sir, why you did not accompany Sir Roderick to your garage last night in search of petrol?
You may, Jeeves, because it's plumb spang in the Vooles-Dobson belt, that's why.
Sir?
The area most frequently infested by Sergeant Vooles and Constable Dobson, Jeeves. You remember my telling you how those two blisters hounded me from garage to potting shed the night I was forced by Miss Stoker's presence in my bed to sleep out? Well, I couldn't face being detained and questioned by them again, Jeeves. My morale has been shattered.
I quite understand, sir.
And now, Jeeves, if you don't mind, butter.
You're very good, sir. Mr. Stoker is approaching across the lawn, sir.
What? J. Washburn Stoker?
Exactly, sir.
What the blazes is he doing here? That man must have the crust of a rhinoceros. He and Chuffy aren't on speaking terms.
No, sir. Possibly the gentleman has come to look for you, sir. He is approaching in this direction.
What?
Hey, you!
Oh, golly. Where can I hide, Jeeves? Quick.
The corner behind those deck chairs recommends itself, sir.
Righto.
Hey, you, Jeeves! You come here, you.
Good morning, sir.
So, you're here, are you?
Yes.
I came to look for Mr. Wooster. Never reckoned I'd run into you. But listen, do you know what I've got a mind to do to you?
No, sir.
Break your damn neck!
Indeed, sir.
Yes!
A little extreme, sir, surely? I can appreciate that the fact that I decided somewhat abruptly, I admit, to leave your employment and return to that of his lordship might occasion displeasure on your part.
You know what I'm talking about. Are you going to deny that it was you who smuggled that guy Wooster off of my yacht?
No, sir. I admit I was instrumental in restoring his liberty to Mr. Wooster. In the course of a conversation I had with him, Mr. Wooster informed me that he was being detained on the vessel Ultra Vires, and acting in your best interests, I released him. At that time, you will recall, sir, I was in your employment, and I felt it my duty to save you from what might have been an extremely serious contretemps.
Look, are you crazy or am I?
Sir?
Save me from a
Contretemps?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I cannot make the assertion with authority. I am not certain to what extent the fact that Mr. Wooster came on board the yacht of his own volition would weigh with a jury.
Jury?
But his detention on the vessel, despite his expressed desire to leave, would, I'm inclined to imagine, constitute an act of kidnapping, the penalties for which, as you are no doubt aware, sir, are very severe.
But say, now listen,
England is an extremely law-abiding country, and offences which might pass unnoticed in your own land are prosecuted here with the greatest vigor. My knowledge of legal minutiae is, I regret to say, slight, so I cannot asseverate with perfect confidence that this detention of Mr. Wooster would have ranked as an act in contravention of the criminal code, and, as such, liable to punishment with penal servitude.
What?
But undoubtedly, had I not intervened, the young gentleman would have been in a position to bring a civil action and mulct you in very substantial damages. So, acting, as I say, in your best interests, sir, I released Mr. Wooster.
Thanks.
Not at all, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
I did what I considered the only thing that could avert a most disagreeable contingency.
Well, dashed good of you. Look, I've got to think about this.
Yes.
I hadn't looked at it that way before. Perhaps I ought to have a talk with Mr. Wooster right away.
Yes, sir.
You don't happen to know where he is, do you?
I rather fancy it was Mr. Wooster's intention to pass the night in the Dower House, sir.
The Dower House. Oh, that's that place across the park.
Yes, sir.
I'll take a walk over there now, I think.
Very good, sir.
And thank you, Jeeves.
Not at all, sir. Mr. Stoker has departed, sir.
Jeeves, I wouldn't have believed it possible. That human wildcat reduced to a domestic pet in less than 5 minutes. There is none like you, Jeeves, none.
It is extremely kind of you to say so, sir.
Your father wasn't a snake charmer, was he?
No, sir.
Oh, it just crossed my mind. I say, what do you think will happen when old Stoker gets to the Dower House?
We can only conjecture, sir.
My fear is that Brinkley may have slept it off by now.
There is that possibility, sir.
Still, he should have the hangover of a lifetime, so he might not take too kindly to someone banging on the door knocker, and he still has that chopper. We must hope for the best.
Yes,
And now, Jeeves, once again, butter. Can you get some? It is imperative that... Oh, my sainted aunt. Is that Pauline Stoker now?
Yes, sir. The young lady has just emerged from his lordship's study.
Dash it, what's she doing here? Is this old home week for Stokers? They seem to be overrunning Chuffnell Hall like mice.
Yes, sir.
Well, I suppose it's once more into the lower depths for Bertram.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Jeeves.
Good morning, miss.
Have you seen Lord Chuffnell this morning? I was expecting to find him in his study.
He should be down any moment, miss. His breakfast tray had, I noticed, been delivered.
I thought I smelt something as I came through. What's he having?
Kippered herrings, miss.
They smelt good. I haven't had any breakfast yet, Jeeves.
No, miss.
No. Father yanked me out of bed and had me halfway here before I was properly awake. He's all worked up, Jeeves.
Yes, miss. I have just been having a conversation with Mr. Stoker. He did appear somewhat overwrought.
All the way here, he was talking about what he was going to do if he ever found you again. And now you tell me he did find you. What happened? Did he eat you?
No, miss.
Probably on a diet. Do you know where he is now?
Mr. Stoker left a moment ago with the intention of visiting the Dower House, miss. I think he hopes to find Mr. Wooster there.
Somebody ought to warn that poor sap.
You need experience no anxiety for Mr. Wooster, miss. He is not at the Dower House.
Where is he?
Elsewhere.
Not that I care where he is. Incidentally, do you remember me telling you last night, Jeeves, that I was thinking of becoming Mrs. Bertram W. in order to score off Lord Chuffnell?
Yes, miss.
Well, I'm not. So you needn't save up for that fish slice after all. I've changed my mind.
I'm glad to hear that, miss. I doubt whether the union would have been a successful one. Mr. Wooster is an agreeable young gentleman, but I would describe him as essentially one of nature's bachelors.
I agree. So no matter if Father does tear the roof off, I'm not going to marry that poor persecuted lamb. Why should I? I've nothing against him.
Very true, miss.
Well, I suppose I'd better go and look for Lord Chuffnell, Jeeves. Though what I'm going to say to him, I can't think. Has he mentioned my name recently?
No, miss.
Oh, well, maybe things will work out.
We can but hope so, miss.
Cheerio, then, Jeeves.
Good morning, miss. Sir?
Has she gone, Jeeves?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I say, Jeeves, that's a bit of goose, isn't it?
Sir?
That Miss Stoker's changed her mind about shoving on the old bridal veil and stepping up the aisle at my side.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, all we've got to do is to stage manage a reconciliation with Chuffy, and everything will be boomsa-daisy once again. You haven't any ideas on that front, have you?
Not at present, sir.
Oh, well, it'll keep. And now, Jeeves, for the third time of asking, if you please, butter, seize of it, instanter.
Very good, sir. I will obtain some for you right away.
Thank you, Jeeves.
Not at all, sir.
As I waited for Jeeves to return with a quarter of a pound or so of dairy produce, I found my thoughts turning more and more towards the subject of breakfast. It wouldn't be going too far to say that Pauline Stoker's casual mention of it had really touched the spot. It's a rummy thing about the morning meal. When you've only to press a bell to have the domestic staff racing in with everything on the menu from oatmeal to jams, marmalades and potted meats, you find that all you can look at is a glass of soda water and a rusk. When you can't get it, you feel like a python when the zoo officials have just started to bang the luncheon gong. And I can give no better indication of the extraordinary way the old tum had suddenly come out of its trance than by mentioning that there was a young fowl of sorts, not far away, engaged in getting outside a large pink worm, and I could willingly have joined it at the board. In fact, at this juncture, I think I would have taken potluck with a buzzard. Happily, however, such extreme measures were unnecessary. For only 50 yards away, under a metal cover, sat a plate, bulging, if Jeeves's word was to be credited, with kippers. That plate seemed to beckon to me. A moment later, I was speeding on my way across the lawn. I passed through the French windows at some 40 mph and was on the point of snaffling the works and making a slippy exit when I realized to my horror that Pauline Stoker had beaten me to it. For a moment, we looked at each other with a wild surmise, silent upon a ground floor back in Chuffnell Regis. And then one of the most devastating yowls of terror I've ever heard in my puff ripped through the air. It coincided with the opening of the door and the appearance on the threshold of the 5th Baron Chuffnell. And the next moment he had dashed at her and gathered her in his arms, and she had dashed at him and been gathered. They couldn't have done it more neatly if they'd been rehearsing for weeks.
Ah! What is it?
It's all right, Angel. What's the matter, sweetheart? Tell me, precious. Did you see something, Pet? Hello, Chuffy. Nice day. Bertie.
Bertie, you great goof. Well, what's the idea of scaring people stiff like that?
Bertie, you really are, without exception, the most completely dribbling lunatic that was ever at large. I regret, Chuffnell, that I startled this young fathead, but I can't see how I could be expected to know she would be in here. Besides, talking of lunatics, don't forget 2 days ago you gave this lovely girl the bird for no good reason at all, and if that is an example of grade A goofiness, I don't know what is. That's true. That is true. I'm sorry, Angel. I did behave stupidly.
Oh, that's all right, darling.
It was all my fault, precious.
It was mine too, sweetness.
Please. You were saying, Wooster? Nothing. I thought you made a remark. Oh, no. Good. You'd better not. Chuffy, old man, we must not allow ourselves to brawl. This is the moment for the genial eye and the affable smile. No one could be more delighted than myself that you and this old friend of mine have buried the dead past and started all square together. I may look on myself as an old friend, may I not, Pauline?
Well, I should hope so, you poor dither. Why, I knew you before I ever met Marmaduke.
Oh, yes, Chuffy. This Marmaduke business. I want to take that up with you sometime. Fancy you keeping that dark all these years. There's nothing wrong in being christened Marmaduke, is there? Nothing wrong, no. Nothing wrong at all, no. But we shall have a good laugh about it at the drones. Bertie, if you breathe a word of it to those blighters at the drones, I'll track you to the end of the earth and strangle you with my bare hands. Well, we must see. No. But as I was saying, I'm delighted that this reconciliation has taken place. There are few more charming girls than this P. Stoker, and you're lucky to have won her, old man, in spite of the fact that she is handicapped by possessing a father who bears a striking resemblance to something out of the Book of Revelations.
Father's a good enough egg, Bertie, if you rub him the right way.
You hear that, Chuffy? In rubbing this bally old thug, be sure to do it the right way.
He's not a bally old thug.
Pardon me. I appeal to Chuffy. Well, I must say, Angel, he does strike me at times as a bit over the odds. Exactly. And never forget that he has resolved that Pauline shall marry me. What?
I'm darned if I'll ever marry you, Bertie.
The right spirit, old girl, the right spirit. But can you preserve that intrepid attitude when you see Pop breathing flame through his nostrils and chewing broken bottles in the foreground? Will you not, if I may coin a phrase, be afraid of the big bad wolf?
We're going to have a pretty tough time with him, of course. He's pretty sore with you, Angel, you know.
I'll attend to him. No, Chuffy, I will attend to him. Leave the whole conduct of the affair to me.
You? Why, you poor lamb, you'd run a mile if Father so much as said boo to you.
I anticipate no such contingency. Why should he say boo to me? I mean, a damn silly thing for anybody to say to anyone. And even if he did make that idiotic observation, the effects would not be such as you have outlined. That I was once a little on the nervous side in your parents' presence, I admit. But no longer. Not anymore. The scales have fallen from my eyes. Recently I have seen him in the space of something under 3 minutes, reduced by Jeeves from a howling blizzard to a gentle breeze, and the spell is broken. When he comes, you may leave him to me with every confidence. I shan't be rough with him, but I shall be firm.
Pauline, eh?
Ah, and this, if I mistake not, Watson, is our client now.
Oh, gee.
What on earth's been happening, Father? You've got a black eye.
I couldn't get the fella.
What fellow?
Well, I don't know who he was. He was some lunatic in a dower house. He stood there at the window throwing potatoes at me.
You can consider yourself dashed lucky that the fellow elected to deal with you at long range. For close quarters work, he usually employs a carving knife or a chopper.
Who are you? Are you Wooster?
Still Wooster, Stoker, old man, yes. First, last, and all the time, Bertram Wooster.
What the devil has he done to his face, huh?
Sunburn. Well, Stoker, it's most convenient that you should have dropped in like this.
Oh?
I've been looking for you. Well, that's putting it a bit loosely, perhaps. But anyway, I'm glad to see you now, because I've been waiting to tell you that idea of yours about your daughter and me getting married is off. Forget it, Stoker. Abandon it. Wash it right out. Nothing to it at all. She's going to marry Chuffy, Lord Chuffnell. Him.
What?
Yes, all set.
Is this true, Pauline?
Yes, Father.
Huh? You intend to marry a man who calls your father a pop-eyed old swindler, do you?
Did you call him a pop-eyed old swindler, Marmaduke?
Certainly not.
Yes, you did when I told you I was not going to buy this house of yours.
Oh, well. You know how it is.
Anyway, I'm going to marry him, Father.
You are not.
I am, too. I love him.
Oh, yes. Well, only yesterday you were in love with this damned sooty-faced imbecile here.
Stoker, you forget yourself strangely. I must ask you to preserve the decencies of debate. And it isn't soot, it's boot polish.
And I'm not in love with him anyway.
You said you were.
Well, I wasn't.
Well, so the fact of the matter is, you don't know your own mind. Well, I'm going to make it up for you.
I'm not going to marry Bertie, Father, whatever you say.
Well, you're certainly not going to marry a fortune-hunting English lord.
What do you mean, a fortune-hunting English lord?
I mean what I say, sir. You haven't a cent. And since George died, Pauline's been the heiress to 50 million. Why, darn it, you're just like that fellow in that musical comedy I saw. What was his name? Lord Watley.
What, Watley? I'm not a bit like Watley.
You're the living spit of him. Same sort of face, same expression, same way of talking. I've been wondering all along who it was you reminded me of, and now I know it's Lord Watley.
You're talking perfect nonsense, Father. The whole trouble all along was that Marmaduke was so scrupulous and chivalrous that he wouldn't ask me to marry him till he had enough money. I couldn't think what was the matter with him. And then you promised to buy Chuffnell Hall. And 5 minutes later, he came bounding up to me and started proposing. Well, if you didn't mean to buy the hall, you ought not to have said you would. And I don't see why you won't, either.
I was planning to buy it because Glossop asked me to. But the way I feel towards that guy now, I wouldn't buy a peanut stand to please him.
He's not a bad sort, old Glossop, you know. I like it.
Well, you can have him.
Yes, Jeeves?
For Mr. Stoker, my lord. Excuse me, sir. A seaman from your yacht has just brought this cablegram, which arrived shortly after your departure this morning. The captain of the vessel, fancying that it might be of an urgent nature, instructed him to convey it to this house. I took it from him at the back door and hastened hither with it in order to deliver it to you personally.
What do you mean is there's a cable for me?
Yes.
Then why not say so, damn it, instead of making a song about it? You think you're in an opera or something? Gimme!
Sir?
That Glossop gets nothing out of me. Of course, if he cares to come to me and apologize, I may possibly... Oh, boy.
What's the matter, Father?
It's happened.
What's happened?
What? I'll tell you what. The family's contesting old George's will.
You don't mean that.
I do mean that. They're trying to make out he was loco. There, you read it for yourself.
Oh... But if this goes through, bang goes our 50 million.
Of course it does.
We shan't have a cent, hardly.
Hey! Say that again, Angel. Do you mean you've lost all your money?
Well, looks like it.
Fine! Great! Ripping! Wonderful! Topping! Splendid!
Why, so it is, isn't it?
Of course it is! I'm broke. You're broke. Let's rush off and get married.
Of course.
This makes everything all right. Nobody can say I'm like Watley now.
They certainly can't.
Watley, on hearing the news, would have edged out.
I should say so. You wouldn't have been able to see him for dust.
It's marvelous.
It's magnificent.
In all my life, I've never heard of such a bit of luck as this.
Nor have I.
Coming just at the right time.
Exactly at the right time.
It's topping.
It's simply great.
Pauline, will you stop talking infernal rot and listen to me? Haven't any sense at all? What do you mean you've lost your money? Do you think I'm going to lie down and let this go through without making any comeback? They haven't a dog's chance. Old George was as sane as I am. And I've got Sir Roderick Glossop, the greatest alienist in England, to prove it.
But you haven't.
I've only to put Glossop on the witness stand and their case collapses like a bubble.
But Sir Roderick won't testify for you now that you've quarreled with him.
Who says I've quarreled with him? You show me the half-wit who dares to assert that I'm not on the most cordial terms with Sir Roderick Glossop. Just because we had a trifling, temporary difference, such as happens to the closest of friends, does that mean we're not like brothers?
But suppose he won't apologize to you.
Why, there's never been any question of his apologizing to me. I shall naturally apologize to him. I suppose I'm man enough to admit frankly that I have been in the wrong and have wounded my best friend's feelings, aren't I? Of course I shall apologize to him, and he will accept my apology in the spirit in which it is given. There's nothing small about Sir Roderick Glossop. I'll have him over in New York testifying his head off inside of 2 weeks. Now, what's the name of this place he's staying at? This Sea View Hotel, isn't it? I'll I'll get him on the wire at once and arrange a meeting.
He's not at his hotel, I know.
Eh? Well, where is he?
Quite possibly in London.
London? Why in London?
Why not?
Well, what's his address in London?
I don't know.
Well, don't any of you know?
I don't.
I don't.
A lot of use you are to a man. Get out! We're busy.
I beg your pardon, sir. I was desirous of speaking to his lordship for a moment.
Later on, Jeeves.
Very good, my lord.
Come on now. It can't be that hard to locate a man of Sir Roderick's eminence.
If you will pardon me for intruding the observation, sir, I think I can tell you where Sir Roderick is, if I am right in supposing that it is Sir Roderick Glossop that you are anxious to find.
Well, of course it is. How many Sir Rodericks do you think I know? Where is he then?
In the garden, sir.
This garden, do you mean?
Yes, sir.
Well, then go and ask him to come here at once. Whereabouts in the garden did you see him?
I did not see him, sir. I was merely informed that he was there.
Well, damn it, man. Whereabouts in the garden did whoever merely informed you that he was in the garden merely inform you that he was?
In the potting shed, sir.
The potting shed?
Yes.
Well, what's he doing in the potting shed?
Sitting, sir, I imagine. As I say, I do not speak from first-hand observation. My informant is Sergeant Vooles.
Who the devil is Sergeant Vooles?
The uncle of Constable Dobson, sir.
Well, who is Constable Dobson, then?
The police officer who arrested Sir Roderick last night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Jeeves? Jeeves?
Jeeves? Hey, you.
Sir?
What do you mean by going off like that?
I was under the impression that his lordship, occupied with more vital matters, was not at leisure to attend to the communication I desired to make. I planned to return later, sir.
Well, just stay put for a second, won't you?
Certainly, sir. Had I been aware that you were desirous of speaking to me, sir, I would not have withdrawn from the room. It was merely the apprehension lest I might be intruding at a moment when my presence was not desired.
All right. Never mind all that stuff.
Your presence is of the essence, Jeeves.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Jeeves, did you say that Sir Roderick Glossop had been arrested?
Yes, my lord. He was apprehended by Constable Dobson last night and placed in the potting shed in the hall grounds. The constable remaining on guard at the door. The larger potting shed, my lord, not the smaller one. The potting shed to which I allude is the potting shed on the right. As you enter the kitchen garden, it has a red tile roof in contradistinction to the smaller potting shed, the roof of which is constructed, as you
Jeeves.
know. Sir?
Never mind which potting shed.
No, sir.
Not of the essence.
I quite understand, sir.
Carry on, Jeeves.
It appears, my lord, that Constable Dobson arrested Sir Roderick at an advanced hour last night. He was then in something of a quandary as to what means to take for his disposal. You must understand, my lord, that in the conflagration which destroyed Mr. Wooster's cottage, that of Sergeant Vooles, which is contiguous, was also burned down. And as this cottage of Sergeant Wooles's is also the local police station, Constable Dobson was not unnaturally somewhat at a loss to know where to place the prisoner. The more so as Sergeant Wooles was not there to advise him. He, in fighting the flames, having sustained an unfortunate injury to his head and having been removed to the house of his aunt. I refer to his Aunt Maud, who resides in Chuffnell Regis, sir, not, of course, his Aunt Mabel,
Jeeves.
who, as you know, sir?
Never mind which aunt.
No, sir.
Scarcely germane.
Quite so, sir.
Carry on, Jeeves.
Very good, sir. So, in the end, acting upon his own initiative, the constable arrived at the conclusion that as secure a place as any would be the potting shed, the larger, the potting shed.
The one with the tiled roof.
Precisely, sir. He therefore placed Sir Roderick in the larger potting shed and remained on guard there throughout the remainder of the night. Some little time ago, the gardeners came on duty, and the constable sent a message by one of them to Sergeant Vooles, now happily recovered. On receiving the communication, the sergeant hastened to the hall to interview his lordship, who, being a justice of the peace, has the power to commit the prisoner to incarceration in a more recognized prison.
What?
He is waiting in the library now, my lord, till your lordship is at leisure to see him.
Prison? Well, how can he be in prison? What's he got to do with prisons? And why does this fool of a cop think that he ought to be in prison?
The charge, I understand, sir, is one of burglary.
Burglary?
Yes, sir. Constable Dobson is under the impression that Sir Roderick is a member of the troupe of Negroid minstrels who performed on your yacht last night.
Oh, no.
Jeeves, do you mean that Sir Roderick Glossop is still blacked out?
Yes.
He's blacked out?
He covered his face with burnt cork yesterday evening to amuse little Seabury, and due to a shortage of butter is still in that state.
Well, this is the finish then, isn't it? This is where I drop $50 million and try to like it. A lot of use any testimony in a lunacy case is going to be from a fellow who gets himself pinched while wandering around the country in a black face. Why, There isn't a judge in America who wouldn't rule out anything he said on the ground that he was crazy himself. Well, joke's on me, all right. Yes, the joke's certainly on me. My expert will be shown up to be loonier than old George could have been if he'd tried for 1,000 years. Funny when you come to think of it. Yeah, ironical. It reminds one of that thing about lo, somebody's name led all the rest.
Abu Ben Adhem, sir.
Have I what?
The poem to which you allude relates to a certain Abu Ben Adhem, who, according to the story, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace to find an angel.
Get out.
Sir?
Get out of this room before I murder you.
Yes, sir.
And take your angels with you.
Very good.
Angels at a time like this?
He was perfectly right, you know. I used to know the thing by heart at school. This cove found an angel sitting by his bed writing in a book, don't you know? And the upshot of the whole affair was... Oh, all right. If you don't want to hear. A Wooster does not trust his conversation on the unwilling.
Now, look, we've got to think of something fast. What's wrong with a rescue party, eh?
How do you mean, Father?
Listen, what's the matter with going and breaking the door of this damn potting shed down and getting him out and smuggling him away and hiding him somewhere and letting these darn cops run circles around themselves trying to find him?
No, we couldn't.
Why not?
You heard Jeeves say Dobson was on guard.
Well, bat him over the head with a shovel.
Mr. Stoker, I am a justice of the peace. I can hardly sanction a physical assault on a member of the constabulary.
Well, darn it then, bribe him.
You can't bribe an English policeman.
You mean that?
Not a chance.
My God, what a country. You back?
Yes, sir.
Well,
Sir?
what do you want?
The bell rang, sir.
No, Jeeves. Nobody rang. I rang, Chuffy. What for? For Jeeves. We don't want Jeeves. Chuffy, old man, if there could ever be a time when you wanted Jeeves more than you do now, What I'm driving at, Chuffy, is that there's only one man who can get you out of this mess. He stands before you. I mean Jeeves. Recall some of the swift ones he's pulled in the past, Chuffy. Jeeves always finds the way. By Jove, yes, that is right. He does, doesn't he? He does indeed. Jeeves, we require your cooperation and advice.
Very good, sir.
If there are any darned angels involved...
Stoker, please. Jeeves, to begin with, let me give you a brief synopsis. Do I mean synopsis?
Yes, sir. Synopsis is perfect.
A brief synopsis, then, of the position of affairs. I have no doubt you recall the late Mr. George Stoker.
Yes, sir. I saw a good deal of his personal attendant when we were in New York, a man named Benstead.
Quite. Well, Jeeves, the cable that you brought just now was to say that his will, Mr. George Stoker's will, that is being contested on the ground that the testator was as goofy as a coot.
Yes.
In rebuttal of this, Mr. Stoker had intended to bring Sir Roderick Glossop into the witness box to testify as an expert that old George was grade A in the sanity line. Not a gibber in him, if you see what I mean. However, and this is the nub of the thing, Jeeves, Sir Roderick is now in the potting shed with his face covered in burnt cork and a sharp sentence for burglary staring him in the eyeball. You see how this weakens him as a force?
Yes.
In this world, Jeeves, you can do one of two things. You can set yourself up as a final authority on whether your fellow man is sane or not, or you can go blacking your face and getting put in potting sheds. You cannot do both. So what is to be done, Jeeves?
I would suggest removing Sir Roderick from the shed.
There! Didn't I tell you Jeeves would find a way?
Ha! Remove him from the shed, eh? How? With a team of angels?
Can you remove Sir Roderick from the shed, Jeeves?
Yes, sir.
You were convinced of this?
Yes, sir.
You have already formulated a plan or scheme?
Yes.
Well, I take it all back then. Forget I said it. You get me out of this jam and you can come and wake me up in the night and talk about angels if you want.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, come on then. What is this plan or scheme? Spill it.
Wait, Jeeves. Just one moment, Stoker, before we go any further. There are two things to be settled. Do you give your solemn word to purchase Chuffnell Hall from old Chuffy here at a price to be agreed upon between the two contracting parties?
Yes.
And
Let's
you
get on
consent to the union of your daughter Pauline over there with old Chuffy here and none of that rot about her marrying me?
Sure.
Jeeves, you may speak.
Thank you, sir. Having given this matter a good deal of consideration, sir, I have come to the conclusion that the crux of the problem is the presence before the entrance of the potting shed of Constable Dobson.
Correct, Jeeves. Another way of putting it would be the snag.
Precisely, sir. Our first move, accordingly, must be to eliminate Constable Dobson. This, in my opinion, may be readily accomplished by sending word to him that the parlour-maid Mary, to whom he is by way of being betrothed, is waiting for him in the raspberry bushes with a cup of coffee and a ham sandwich. The constable, I find, sir, has not yet breakfasted.
Nor have I, Jeeves, so skim lightly over this bit, would you? I'm not made of marble.
I beg your pardon.
Not at all, Jeeves. I understand precisely what you're driving at. Young Dobson will be in those raspberry bushes like a shot.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, Jeeves. I don't get this. If he wanted food, why wouldn't he come straight to the house?
Because he would be apprehensive of being observed by Sergeant Wools, miss. He is under strict orders from his superior to remain at his post.
Then would he leave it? My dear old man, he has not yet breakfasted, and this girl be dripping with coffee and ham sandwiches. Don't hold up the run of the dialogue with foolish questions. Yes, Jeeves?
In his absence, sir, it would be a simple task to remove Sir Roderick and lead him to some place of concealment. His lordship's bedroom suggests itself.
And Dobson wouldn't have the nerve to confess that he had abandoned the post of duty. That's what you're driving at.
Precisely, sir. His lips would be sealed.
No good. Wouldn't work. No, I'm not saying we couldn't get Glossop away, but the cops would see that there'd been some funny business. Their man would have gone, and they'd figure it out that somebody had got him away. They'd put two and two together and get wise to us having done it.
No, sir. Not if the officers did find a prisoner in the shed. I would advocate substituting Mr. Wooster for Sir Roderick.
Split? Me?
Yes, sir. As I have already mentioned, the officers are unaware of the identity of their captive, believing him to be a member of the local troupe of Negroid minstrels. It is only necessary, therefore, that a black-faced prisoner be found in the shed when the moment comes for the accused to be conducted before his lordship.
But why me, Jeeves? I don't look a bit like old Glossop. They'd realize there'd been a switch straight away.
You are forgetting, sir, that only Constable Dobson has actually seen the prisoner, and his lips, as I say, will be sealed.
Yes, but Chief Dashy, anxious as I am to bring aid and comfort to this stricken home, I'm not so bally keen on doing 5 years in the jug for burglary.
There is no danger of that, sir. The building into which Sir Roderick was breaking at the moment of his arrest was your own garage.
Oh, in search of petrol?
No doubt, sir.
But Jeeves, all the same, reflect, consider, review the position. Am I supposed to have allowed myself to be pinched for breaking into my own garage and shut up in a shed all night without saying a word? It isn't, what is it? It isn't plausible.
It is only necessary to induce Sergeant Wools to believe it, sir. What the constable may think is immaterial, owing to the fact his lips are sealed.
But Wools wouldn't believe it for a minute.
Oh, yes, sir. I fancy that he is under the impression that it is a frequent practice of yours to sleep in sheds.
Of course! The other night. He'll just take it for granted that you've been mopping it up again, Bertie. Oh, I see. So I am to go down in the history of Chuffnell Regis as one of our leading dipsomaniacs.
That's right. Now, you aren't going to tell me you have any objection.
What? But how could I think such a thing? I'm awfully sorry, Bertie. Of course you'll do it. I should never have doubted you.
Of course he will.
Yes. Sacrificing himself to a little temporary inconvenience to save his friends is just the sort of job Bertie Wooster jumps at.
Springs at.
Leaps at.
I've always thought he was a fine young fella. I remember thinking so the first time I ever met him.
Yes, but listen, I was at school with Bertie Wooster. I like to think of it. At private school and also at Eton, and after that at Oxford, he was loved by everybody.
Because of his wonderful, unselfish nature.
You absolutely hit it. Because of his wonderful, unselfish nature. Because when it was a question of helping a pal, he would go through fire and water to do so. I wish I had a quid for every time I'd seen him take the blame for someone else's dirty work on his own broad shoulders.
How splendid.
Just what I would have expected of him.
Just. The child is father of the man.
You would see him face a furious headmaster with a sort of dauntless look in those big blue eyes of his.
Chuffy, enough. Sufficient. I will go through this ghastly ordeal. But one word. When I come out, do I get breakfast?
You get the best breakfast that Chuffnell Hall can provide.
Kippers?
Schools of kippers.
Toast? Mounds of toast. Coffee? Pots. Well, mind I do. Come then, Jeeves. I am ready to accompany you.
Very good, sir. If I might be permitted to make an observation.
Yes, Jeeves?
It is a far, far better thing that you do than you have ever done, sir.
Thank you, Jeeves. I look before me, Jeeves, and what do I see? The skeletons of 4 kippered herrings, a coffee pot, an empty toast rack. Who's the cook at the hall now?
A woman of the name of Perkins, sir?
She dishes up a nifty breakfast. Convey my compliments to her.
Very good, sir.
Ah, dear. Oh, this is rather like the gentle sunshine after the storm, Jeeves.
Extremely like, sir.
And it was quite a storm, what?
Very trying at times, sir.
Trying is the mot juste, Jeeves. I was thinking of my own trial at that very moment. However, I must admit the unpleasantness was short-lived. Chuffy rushed things through nice and quickly. He soon settled Dobson's hash, what?
Yes, sir.
A rather severe reprimand, I thought.
Well phrased, sir.
And Bertram dismissed without a stain on his character.
Yes.
But with Police Sergeant Vooles firmly convinced that he is an inveterate souse. Well, however, it's no use worrying about it.
Very true, sir.
The main point is that once again you have shown that there is no crisis which you are unable to handle. A very smooth effort, Jeeves, exceedingly smooth.
I could have effected nothing without your cooperation, sir.
Tush, Jeeves. I was a mere pawn in the game.
Oh, no, sir.
Oh, yes, Jeeves. I know my place. But there's just one thing. Don't think for a moment that I want to detract from the merit of your performance, but you did have a bit of luck, what?
Sir?
Well, the cable happening to come along in what you might call the very nick of time. A fortunate coincidence.
No, sir. I had anticipated its arrival.
What?
In the cable which I dispatched to my friend Benstead in New York the day before yesterday, I urged him to lose no time in retransmitting the message which formed the body of my communication.
You don't mean to say...
Yes, sir.
You mean there's nobody contesting the will, really?
No, sir.
But what about when old Stoker finds out?
I feel convinced that his natural relief will overcome any resentment at the artifice, and he has already signed the necessary documents relating to the sale of Chuffnell Hall.
So that even if he's sick as mud, he can't do a thing?
Exactly, sir.
Golly, Jeeves.
Might I ask, sir, what you intend to do now?
Eh?
Now that your cottage is burned down, sir, is it your purpose to take another in the neighborhood?
No, Jeeves, no. I shall return to the metropolis.
To your former apartment, sir?
Oh, yes.
But,
I know what you're going to say, Jeeves. You were thinking of the neighbours' objections to the old banjolele, which drove me out in the first place. Circumstances have changed, Jeeves. As you know, my banjolele perished in the flames last night. You will be pleased to hear that I shall not buy another.
No, sir.
No, Jeeves. The zest has gone. I shouldn't be able to twang a string without thinking of Brinkley. And the one thing I do not wish to do till further notice is to think of that man of wrath.
You are not intending to retain him in your employment, then, sir?
Retain him in my employment? After what has occurred, after finishing first by the shortest of heads in the race with him and his carving knife, I do not so intend, Jeeves. Stalin, yes. Al Capone, certainly. But not Brinkley.
Then, as there is a vacancy in your establishment, sir, I wonder if you would consider it a liberty if I were to offer my services.
What, Jeeves?
I venture to express the hope, sir, that you might be agreeable to considering my application for the post. I should endeavour to give satisfaction, as I trust I have done in the past.
But
I would not wish in any case to continue in the employment of his lordship, sir, now that he is about to be married. I yield to no one in my admiration for the many qualities of Miss Stoker, but it has never been my policy to serve in the household of a married gentleman.
why not?
It is merely a personal feeling, sir.
Oh, I see what you mean. The psychology of the individual.
Precisely, sir.
And now the banjolele is no more. You really want to come back to me?
I should esteem it a great privilege, sir, if you would allow me to do so, unless you are thinking of making other plans.
No, Jeeves, no. That is to say, yes, Jeeves. Yes. Thank you, Jeeves.
Not at all, sir.
In that episode, the parts were played as follows. Jeeves, Michael Hordern; Bertie, Richard Briers; Lord Chuffnell, Clive Francis; Pauline Stoker, Connie Booth; J. Washburn Stoker, Blaine Fairman. The episode was adapted for radio by Chris Miller from the book Thank You, Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. The program was produced by Peter Titheridge.